All right, welcome back, guys. This is the second week of computer skills, and we're going to start off with design tips for PowerPoint. First thing we can recommend is always use good fonts. Okay, you can see that Times New Roman is a legible font, but it's not a very original font. It's something that pretty much everybody use. You can see Comic Sans here. Okay, second font here is Comic Sans. This one right here. Sorry for my crooked line there, guys. And in all honesty, people don't take it very seriously when you're doing a presentation. So if you're doing a presentation on something like academic or something in front of a big audience where you want them to be taking you seriously, it's not a good font to use. If it's just a silly kind of whimsical PowerPoint that you're using to make people laugh and have a good time, then sure, that's okay. Okay, here you notice a font called Century Gothic. It usually looks pretty good. The spacing between the letters makes it easy to read, and it's a good font to use. Here's another great tip. Make sure that when you're building your PowerPoint that people will be able to see it. Typically, you want to look at a slide and take 10 to 15 steps back from the computer that you're designing on. If 10 to 15 steps away you cannot read the screen, the participants in the back of your room when you're presenting won't be able to read your PowerPoint when you're presenting it. So make sure that you can read your PowerPoint from a distance back. That includes pictures, charts, and infographics. One of the best ways to make sure that that's the case is to increase font size and organize your page so that it's very simple and easy to read. We just mentioned avoiding small text, okay? You can see here, funny little meme, we're not sure if your font is too small or if we need glasses. If you can't read a slide from the back of the room, it's probably because it's too small. 24-point font is the smallest you should use. Okay, so when you're working inside of a PowerPoint, you want to go up to the toolbar under the design tab or under the home tab, excuse me, and look at what size font you're using. You want to make sure that you're using 24-point or larger. As you can see here, this title, avoid excessively verbiage lending to excessively lengthy text that is redundant but also repetitive and reiterative. Okay, maybe the heading should have been be brief. What we mean here is avoid using long titles. Try to be as brief as possible. You don't want all of your information on the PowerPoint at once. Remember, a PowerPoint is just a guide for you to talk to your class or to other people with. It's not something that the participants or the other classmates in your class should be reading all of your information on. So keep your words brief, don't repeat, and make sure that it's easy to read. You should only have 5 bullet points max per slide. More than 5 is just too much. If you have 10 points or 8 points that you need to put in and they're all fairly relevant to what you're presenting, put it on 2 slides. Or considering using it 1 slide for each point. When we're talking about parallel structure, okay, you see here what we call an amateur would say profits will be improved. Expanding markets. It will reduce. Production increase. Notice over here from the professional side, instead of saying will be improved, we just simply say improve profits. Expanded markets. Instead of saying it will reduce the amount, we just say reduced overseas competition and increased production. Grammar is really important when you're working in PowerPoint. And what you need to pay attention to is, again, like we said before, being brief. So instead of saying things like this will be, it will reduce, things will expand, production will increase, you need to just go more past tense and say improve profits, expanded markets, reduced overseas consumption, increased production. Okay? This is much more simplified and much more professional than this over here. So as you're writing out your PowerPoints, make sure that as you're typing, you are using this type of structure. Color is extremely important when you talk about PowerPoint slides and how they are designed. The templates that are inside of PowerPoint have been professionally chosen so the color combos are easy to read. When you're building your PowerPoint, and remember earlier we talked about taking 10 steps back, make sure that you can read it. Make sure that it can be seen really well. If you're in a room with a lot of bright light, typically dark backgrounds with light text, help the viewer to see the PowerPoint. Now you can play around with color combos and you can do some research on color palettes on the internet and kind of create your own, but just know that the templates in PowerPoint have been professionally vetted and are already chosen to make sure that each slide is easy to read. Picture borders are a really important way and a really good way to kind of make a photo stand out and to be easy to see on a PowerPoint. If you look at the pictures throughout this video that are in each slide, you'll notice that all of them have a border. Okay? On the next slide, I'm going to show you how to add a border to your PowerPoint pictures. Alright, so I told you I'd show you guys how to insert a picture into a PowerPoint and then how to add a border. So from PowerPoint, come up to the Insert tab, and then under Images, choose Pictures. Now I've got some photos here on my computer. You would need to use the Explorer window to navigate to wherever the pictures are. Whether you saved it on your desktop or saved it in the folders we created last week, you got to make sure that you find that picture. So here's an example of a training that I did at your school. You can see right there, woohoo, it's a Turner Bartels. And you may see a few of your teachers here in this picture. So I'm going to resize this picture down a little bit so that we can kind of take a look at it. Now right now it does not have a border around it, okay, and we want to add a border. So I want you to click on the picture that you added once you've done that, and obviously you're going to do that after you watch this, so don't stop now, just watch me do it and then you can pause the video and you can try it. Okay, you're going to click the picture and you'll notice up here at the top, okay, this contextual toolbar appears, right? See how it's purple and it says Picture Tools Format? Notice when I click off the picture, it disappears. Then when I click back on the picture, it comes back. So make sure you have the picture selected. Then you're going to click on Format right here. And then you'll notice that here you have some picture styles that you can choose from. Or right here, you have Picture Border. You can drop that down and add a border around the particular picture. So in this case, I'm going to add a black border around it. Now, you can barely see that black border. So I'm going to go back to Picture Border and I'm going to go to Weight. And Weight changes the thickness of the border. Okay, so now you can see how that border is expanding behind me where my mouse is? That will allow you to expand that border out. You can also go to dashes and create some little texture to your borders, but really we recommend that you use one of the thicker borders. And then now you can see that picture is nice and bordered and set apart from the other items on the screen. You can also use the Picture Styles format to set some different types of looks to your pictures. So this will add, again, some different features, some different looks to your pictures and set them out from other items on the particular slide. Okay, which actually makes it kind of look really cool. So that's ways you can just customize pictures, and like we said in the previous slide, make them set out away from the rest of your slide. When you have an option selected, or if you have more than one photo chosen, if you want to line them up perfectly or evenly distribute them, you can click on the photo. When you click on a photo, this contextual tab appears. You'll see it says Drawing Tools Format. And underneath that is an option that says Align. Now you'll notice right here you have several different options for aligning each of your pictures, and that will line your photos up so they look professional and are lined up inside of your slide. The one thing you need to know, think about everything. Know your audience. What do they know before they've come into the presentation you're about to give? What is the most important information that you want to provide, and what do you absolutely need to tell them? What do they expect from you coming into the presentation? Think about who you're presenting to. What would be interesting to them? What can you teach them? What can you share with them so that they will leave knowing something new? And what will keep them focused? Sometimes a little funny picture or a little quip or quote on a slide can help keep their attention throughout a presentation. So again, before you start building your PowerPoints, before you start working to present in front of people, know who you're presenting to and know what their interests are and know what they know coming in. That way your PowerPoint is relevant, will keep them focused, and will be engaging for them as a participant. All right, so we're going to do a little mini assessment here. I want you to pick a topic, any topic. I don't care what it is. If it's a hobby you like, if you play soccer, if you play football, if you love watching the NFL, if you love dancing, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. Pick any topic. I want you to start building a presentation using the guidelines we just covered. Okay? Make sure your fonts are easily legible. Make sure you've chosen a template for the design. Make sure that you've added some photos and put borders in on those photos that support your presentation. And then when you're done, it can only be, 2, 3 slides, maybe 4, depending on how much information you want to share. Pair up with one of your classmates, and I want you to show it to them, and then ask for feedback on the design. This is a great chance for you guys to share your feelings and share your design ideas. And remember, nobody's design ideas are wrong. The great thing about using PowerPoint is we can all make presentations to fit our style. So tell your classmate what you liked about the presentation, the way it looked. If you see something that wasn't easy to read or maybe it was a little confusing, let them know. But remember, positive feedback is important. This is not a chance to make fun of each other's PowerPoints. It's a chance to help each other get better on designing presentations so that every presentation we give moving forward is effective.